Morning guys, it's Dinner Lady here. Right, it's Monday morning and I start work at 10 o'clock, so I'm doing this a little bit earlier because I want to get part of it on to cook. So today I'm making a turkey pot pie. I don't know whether you remember a couple of months ago now, I bought a turkey leg and thigh from Morrison's. Now I did the stuffed turkey thigh for a Sunday lunch. And I've still got the leg left over, which has been in the freezer, which needs using up. So I thought I'd make a turkey pot pie. So I'll bring you down and let's have a look. Right, so there's the turkey leg. It's been out of the freezer and defrosted in the fridge overnight. So I'm going to get that on to roast. I do want the roast flavour in this, so that's why I'm going to roast it. I'm just going to use the kasori and just let that go. And I also got 2 onions, a bit of celery that definitely needs using up, some carrots, some peas, and some flour to make the gravy stock, which I forgot to get out, but it'll be chicken stock. And I've got some parsley as well, and I'm going to do it with a suet crust pastry as well. It's just going to be a topped one, that's why it's a pot pie rather than just a pie. And I'm going to get the turkey and let that cook, and I'll speak to you later. Hi guys, right, it's lunchtime, so I'm going to get on with doing the filling for the turkey pot pie. I've cooked the turkey leg, drumstick, and I've getting the juices out of the bottom of the kasori that'll go towards the pie as well. So I'm just going to put that to one side. I want to do the onions, the carrot, and my sad looking celery here, and I'm going to get them sweated off in a pan, and I'll come back to you then. Hi guys, so I've got some butter. It's just been softening, melting down in there. So I have the onion, the carrot and the celery, which is all going to go in. Now I do want this cooked until it's all nice and soft, because the rest of the filling is already cooked, apart from the peas, but they only take a couple of moments. So what I'll do is I'll just toss them in that bit of butter. Keep it on a low heat and just let it sweat down. Put a bit of salt and pepper in now. That'll also help bring out the juices of the vegetables. So I'd say about 10-15 minutes for these to sweat down nicely. Right, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to break this down as well now. So I need a different board, and we'll come back to you and we'll get this taken down. Right, so to tackle this bad boy, what I'm do is going to get underneath that skin. Actually, it might just be easier just to chunk it, rip it apart. There we go, that's better, to get all the sinew and everything out of it. The skin coming off there now. I don't want this in uniform chunks, it is a pot pie. What we'll do is I'll just continue to break this down, and we'll come back to you once the vegetables are all softened down and we can get on with the rest of it. Excuse me, as soon as you come on, I needed a cough. So as you can see, they're lovely and soft now. I'm just going to get a little bit of just to show you, nice and soft. There we go, that's exactly what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get about a dessert spoon and a half of flour in there. Turn that up a little bit. Well, maybe it's 2 dessert spoons. Do that with all the butter that's in there with the veggies, and just let that cook out just for a couple of seconds. So what I've done is I found an open bag of peas in the freezer, so them ones will do for this. I've teared up all of the turkey. I've also got some tarragon that I had in the freezer. another Sainsbury's haul. When I can get, you can't really get that in the normal supermarket, so when I got some I put some in the freezer. And I've got some parsley. And I've still got the drippings from cooking the turkey. I'm going to use them in the sauce as well. If I need some more, I'm just going to pop the kettle on just in case I need a little bit more. That there a second. Just cook that out so you don't get the floury taste. Just going to start putting just a little bit in. Don't dump it all in at once, otherwise you'll have a big mess. But you can feel it getting stiffer. And that's when you know that the flour's cooked out enough, because it straight away absorbs the liquid. See? I did say I was going to use some chicken stock. I don't need any more liquid. I'm going to pop some. I have some chicken powder there, because I'll not need a full OXO cube, so I'll use that instead. Just keep adding your liquid, your stock. See, it's getting thicker and thicker. I mean, we don't want it too thick, but we don't want it too wet either, because this is a pie, well, a pot pie, sorry, with a pastry lid, no bottom. How silky that's looking now. Right, just a little bit more. And what I did was, I did add some water into the bottom of the cassoulet to get all of the drippings out. So there is water in here as well as the turkey juices. Wish you could smell this, guys. It smells absolutely amazing. Right, that's the last. In fact, you know what it is? I think that's going to be enough. I don't think I'm going to need any more than this. So I'm just going to let this cook out for about a couple of minutes, just to thicken the sauce a little bit more, and then we'll come back and assemble. Right, guys, it's just been a couple of minutes and it's thickened right up again. I'm just going to taste for seasoning now. Oh, it's lovely. Needs a bit more pepper. The salt element seems fine. Right, and now I'm going to add the peas. I'm going to bash them up a little bit. And everything else is cooked, guys. Apart from the peas, but they have 2 seconds. Right, now get all of this in. It looks amazing. These bits are just like the crusty bits off the end of the turkey. Right, so now what I want to do is I want to get the parsley and the tarragon in. Stir that in. I'm going to turn this off now because I want this to cool before it goes into the bowls for the pot pies. So that is the hard work done. I'm just going to let that cool down, and then we'll come back to you when it's time to start making the pastry and assembling the pies. Right, guys, lovely work's done. So I'm about to do my pies. I've got 3 of these dishes. Now I've wanted some of these for years, and I was going to buy them online. Excuse me, and I never got round to it. But me and Ian were in the second-hand shop a couple of weeks, well, actually, it was about a month, maybe 6 weeks ago, and I saw these for sale, So I thought, right, I'm grabbing them. So this is what I'm going to do the pot pies with tonight. So the filling is all done. It's nicely cooled down now. So it's just the matter of filling these up. Make sure that there's enough for 3. Certainly is. I thought there would be actually. I was only going to do 2, but there's a lot of filling here. Get that all in there. Fill them all up nicely. Just means that instead of having a sandwich for lunch tomorrow, that's if we have lunch, we can share a pie. Sometimes we only eat the 1 meal a day. Just depends on the day, you know what it's like yourself. Sometimes you feel hungry, sometimes you don't. Right, so I'm just going to pop them to one side. Just over here for now. Dribbled a little bit, so I'm just going to clean this up. And we'll get on with doing the pastry. Like I say, I am doing the suet crust pastry. I do love that with a pot pie, I must admit. So I'm just going to get myself all organised and then I'll come back. Right, so I only want to make enough pastry for the 3 pies. So I'm going to do 150 grams of plain flour. So I'm just going to do it like this. I think 150 should be more than enough. There we go, 150 on that. And get the suet out, as well as dropping flour everywhere. Sorry, completely lost my words there. So now I'm going to tear that. I'm going to want 75 grams of this lovely stuff. $76. Well, I'm not going to take a couple of bits out. Excuse me. And some salt. Right, I'm just going to get a jug, some cold water in. Mix this all up nicely. And just dribble the cold water in. I know people say do it with a knife and cut it through, and this is the way I prefer. A little bit more. Now if you don't like the thought of suet, you can always use butter. Just do a normal short crust pastry, or margarine, whatever suits you. I mean, you could do that filling with just the veggies. You don't even have to put the meat in. A little bit more water. There we go. That's it. I can feel it now. You can feel it in your hands when you know it's going to come together. Right, well what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to get a little bit of egg wash ready, and then we'll start topping these pies. Right, so I've just got an egg in there. A little bit of salt. And just whiz that round. Move that to one side for now. Get a little bit of flour on the bench. Like I say, I just want a top for each one. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to eyeball it. Try and make it as and cut it into 3. Right, I'll pop them 2 back in there for now. And then what we'll do is we'll roll this out nicely. Bit of flour on there. Excuse me, I don't know. I've really been, my chest been a little bit chesty today. Right, get one of the pot pies. A little bit more. A little bit longer. Then what I like to do is, this is just me, you don't have to. I like to brush the edges of the pastry. And then I'll pop that in my hand. Bring the pot pie over. And then just flip it over. Get rid of some of the excess. Now this is a rustic pot pie. So I'm not cutting any of the edges off. I'm just going to stick it like that. You want these crunchy bits at the side. Just brush off a little bit extra. Right, then we'll egg wash this. Don't you just love a pie, guys? All the way around them little edgy bits as well. That's lovely and covered. And I'm going to put that to one side and carry on with the other 2. Right guys, so that's all 3 done. They've all had an egg wash. It is now 6:20. Ian doesn't finish till after 7. These will probably need about 40 minutes in the oven, so I'll put them in probably about 6:45. But I'm just going to let them hang out here for a little while, and then I might put another glaze on top of it once this is dried, because it does look absolutely amazing when you do that. So, right, we'll see you in about 40 minutes. I'm off to sit down, have a cuppa and watch TV for a bit. Right, so that's I've put the oven on, it's come up to temperature now. I'm just going to give this another quick egg wash. I did notice on a couple of them I've pressed the sides down a little bit, so I don't know whether it's going to come up, but I'm not bothered about that. It's still going to taste nice at the end of the day. Let's put some more on. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get my knife and I'm just going to put a little hole in there just for any steam. I always do it after I put the egg wash on because I don't want to fill it in with the egg wash. So I'm going to put these straight in the oven. And about 45 minutes and they will be lovely. Bring you back later on, guys. Right guys, so Ian's just came home and I'm going to get the pies out of the oven now. I've turned it off. I can't remember what I said. It was on 180 fan. And they've had, oh, straight at my face there. And they have had about 40 minutes. So that's them coming out now. Looking delicious. But I will leave them because it will be hotter than the sun right now. So I'm going to leave them for about 10-15 minutes before I even ask Ian to have a taste. So we'll see you in a bit, guys.
Look at that.
turkey pot pie.
Mmm. Damn, that looks good. Yummy. Taste testing time. Alright guys, I'm looking forward to this. So I'm going to dig in a lovely suet top. Look at that.
It's like having a pie and a dumpling all in once, isn't it?
Oh, look at that. Just going to get that off the top. I'm going to try the filling. Oh, look at that filling. Look at that in there. Wowzers. That looks good. Turkey. Veggies. It's hot, excuse me. Turkey, lovely. Creamy sauce in there. All the veggies perfectly cooked. Very tasty. Did you say there's some tarragon in there?
Yes.
And there's a slight
Aniseed.
aniseed, which is quite nice. I like that. So I'm going for the
Pastry.
pastry. Some on the floor again.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's good. I'm not having anything else with this. It's like a meal in itself, to be honest. That is yummy. We'll try a bit all together. Look at that, unctuous. Well, that looks good. That's so good. Again, that's better than any shop bought pie you can get, as far as I'm concerned. You know what's going in it, and it tastes absolutely blooming delicious with the suet topping.
And you've got that crispy bit on the
Look at that.
side there.
Look at the crispy bits. I've been munching on them
That
there.
bit there.
Look how beautiful that looks in there. That is yummy. Absolutely banging. Right, so I'm going to finish that off in a second, settle down and watch the telly. No football. Or is the football on tonight? I don't know, is there?
Well, if it's not England.
It's not England, no.
You haven't really bothered this year much, have you?
Yeah. But
I think it's because it's like up early every morning, so.
But hey, yeah. So one of my subscribers was saying about when I was doing, was it the lasagna, or about making a bit of a noise when you should use a meat masher.
Yes.
And I've never ever heard of one. So, me being me,
he's bought a meat masher.
I went out and bought one. So I'll be using that at some point next time I do a mince dish. In fact, I've got a mince dish coming up, haven't I?
Yes.
So I'll be using it then. But okay guys, thanks for watching and subscribing. Keep the comments coming, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It doesn't cost anything, but it really helps the pair of us. So we will catch you at a very soon.
Thank you very much for watching, guys.
Really
and
appreciate
please, I must admit, when I was looking on the analytics, there's probably 97% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. Just a couple more. That would be nice. So if you could, thank you very much, and we'll see you later, guys.
Gorgeous that, like. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.